everyone. Welcome to Speakers Bank podcast, Disability Edition. And this is our second part of the four series. And our very important episode, my co host is Marian, and he will, of course, be having conversations with our special guest that she will share to us her story of after birth. Good morning, Marian, and yeah.
Good morning, Mary. Welcome everyone to our live meeting. My name is Marion, and today's we'll talk about postpartum with our special guest today, Maria Umer. Good morning, Mary. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing around this time, and how is your family? How are you keeping with the COVID-19 restrictions, and what's the measures that you're taking at this time?
Yes, it's a very difficult time for everybody, and we're trying our best to just do the essential things, whatever are required, and go out of the house and do the essential things and come back. So we're trying to avoid the crowded places and not to have get-togethers and all that. So yeah, it's a very difficult time.
Okay, thank you very much. Today's topic we'll talk about the postpartum, most likely by your maternity life. Please, would you share with us your maternity life? Was it an easy pregnancy or what?
So I had my pregnancy was a miracle pregnancy because it was after the age of 35, so it's considered as miracle. And
Definitely.
it was an easy one. I did not have any morning sickness, um, but I did have a lot of ligament pains, so that was a difficult part. And honestly, for the first few months, I did not even feel pregnant. And I was surprised because in my head I was like, oh, why am I not having the motherly feelings? Why am I not having the motherly feelings? And then I spoke to a couple of people and I was like, I'm not having the motherly feelings. I don't know whether I'll be a good mother or not. And then everybody told me that don't worry, once the baby is born, you'll automatically have the motherly feelings. You don't have to worry about it. And that's what happened.
What do you mean by that? Like you are not having feelings of as a mother, or like you're not having
Yes,
that
yes.
with your body, or
Yes, it was like I was not having that feeling that, you know, my baby is coming into this world and it
your
will
mother?
be
Yeah.
amazing.
I get. I've been in that time too.
But it was an easy. I was my favorite thing throughout the pregnancy was mandarins. I was eating like 20 to 25 mandarins in one go. So that was one thing. That was my really on thing during the pregnancy, throughout my pregnancy. It
So
was easy. It was not difficult. But I know for one thing for sure, after my baby was born, I used to call up my mother 3 times a day and tell her that I love you.
okay. So was it because your mother was helping you at the pregnancy time, or she was there with you time to time when you needed help? Is that why you were in that time where you were calling your mother, telling her that?
Yes, that was one reason, and the other reason was um, during my teenage years, I was like I always thought that my mother didn't love me, which was not true, which is not possible. Now I know that it's not possible. So, so like once I got married and I had a baby, I used to call up my mother 3 times a day and tell her that, Mom, I love you. I love you. You're the best. You're the best. Because I knew it that that's not possible that my mother won't love me or and I realized how what mothers go through. Like
Yeah, yeah. I
so
get, yeah. I guess it's what every mother goes through, and we sometimes even when I used to be around together with my little sisters, my big sisters, and sometimes my mom used to have a little bit of arguments with my sisters, and then they claiming that mom doesn't love them because the mom is giving them much, to stay online, do this and that. But I guess every family have that little thing. Sometimes we don't get along, but family is family. If someone is talking for some reason, that means there must be love behind it. They just can't talk for nothing. Sometimes we give our mothers big time thinking that they're talking too much, but they're actually giving us the right way. you know. So
that
you
that's
said
true. That
you had any craving the Mandarin? Mandarin was sorry.
yes,
Go again.
during my pregnancy, I had like big cravings for mandarins. So and the
Okay.
and one bad thing was like throughout my life, I've loved eating chocolate. I have loved eating chocolate throughout my life. And during my
Mm.
pregnancy, I could not eat chocolate at all. Even the
Why? Why?
smell of chocolate, even the smell of chocolate would put me off, and I would feel like throwing up. So,
Okay.
so I could not have chocolate at all, which I
Wow.
used to love. And mandarins were my favorite cravings. And I would also like to add one more thing. Like in these 9 months, my parents, my siblings, my husband, my friends, they were so supportive. They were so supportive emotionally, physically, because like I did think to myself that, during this whole time, I used to think to myself whether I'll be able to do things, whether I'll be able to give my child the best as a normal mother would do. And throughout this time, my parents, my siblings, my husband, very loving husband, my friends, they supported me, which I'm really thankful to.
Okay. So, if I might just ask this question, was this your first child, or
Yes, yes, first child.
now I guess you must be emotional at the time because, especially having a first child, and it was not easy, wasn't it?
No, no, it wasn't. Like emotionally, yes, you go through a lot and you question yourself a lot during this time. You're excited and you're buying new things for them, like for the little being who's going to come into the world. And you're doing all kinds of shopping for them and you're preparing your house for it, everything. But then on the other hand, you're emotionally it's a roller coaster thing. It's a roller coaster ride
Yeah.
because you ask yourself questions that, okay, what if this happens? What if that happens? Right? What will I do? And especially with my condition, like with my vision impairment, I was like, how I'm going to teach him things, how I'm going to teach um, how to read, and how I'm
Mhm.
going to make his small little things like how I'm going to make his milk bottles.
Yeah.
Because you know how milk bottles have markings on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how I'm going to read that. So all these things they come to your mind. But luckily, I have got very good support system around me.